Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be looking at the potential typhoon threat that could hit the Mariana Islands, which is these chains of islands here, so the likes of Guam, etc. etc. And it's looking like now it's looking more certain it's going to hit the Mariana Islands, especially the northern tip of the Mariana Islands, because in the last update what I was showing you, the the ridge was just like weak enough, and it was making them an escape route up here, and it was missing the Mariana Islands like Guam and that. But then in like the most like recent updates, the high pressure has been a lot stronger around the north of the Mariana Islands, and this has allowed the typhoon to stay around the Mariana Islands and then clip the northern edge. So it kind of goes like this, and then it hits the northern tip and then goes out. But it could still change. It's like just under a week away around that, so it could still change. So here's the GFS run. It's the most up to date run, and as you can see, like when we're going to Tuesday and Wednesday, it's really starting to get its act together. 985 millibars, so it's probably a high end tropical storm to a Category 1 typhoon. As we go on to the end of next week, you can see this high pressure is a lot stronger compared to the first update. The first update, the high pressure was more around here, and then around here it was a lot weaker. So the typhoon could escape up here and then away like through the Dick and Trough. So a Dick and Trough helps helps like typhoons and hurricanes go up and follow the Dick and Trough, and then it can just exit away. But now there's no Dick and Trough, and he has the high pressure. It's a lot stronger. And now as we go into next weekend, you can see it's starting to go to the west of the Mariana Islands, and then into the following week, it cuts through the northern half of the islands. It 968 millibars. But what you have to remember is the GFS kind of does overdo overdoes the pressure a bit at times and that, but sometimes it's spot on. So don't take the pressure too literally. But if you are in the Mariana Islands, especially the northern half, I would definitely start to get your preparations in place, and just keep an eye on the local authorities and like the local forecast, because according to the GFS and more like models that I'm going to show you, is definitely showing it coming close to the Mariana Island chain. Now, now if we go to the ACMWF, with the ACM, it doesn't go as far enough out to see like what's going to exactly happen. But at the end of the run, you can kind of make a judgment by the synoptics, sorry, and like by like what's happening around the typhoon. So as we go into middle of next week, you can see the vorticity there is like probably around 20 or 25 knots, which is like the signaling there's more like rotation. So it's starting to show, it's starting to develop, and when we go into next weekend, you can really see it starting to develop, and then as you can see, this high pressure coming off Asia and coming into Japan, that's starting to block off its route away from the Mariana Islands. So what's probably going to happen is the high pressure is going to start to come out more into the western Pacific, and what's going to happen is the typhoon's going to become stuck, and then it's going to have probably like one way to go, and it's probably just going to turn more towards the east. Then it could clip the northern Mariana Islands. So as I said, if you're in the Mariana Islands and Guam, in that, definitely keep an eye on the forecast, because this could get pretty bad and pretty quick. And I think the HWRF, the HWRF doesn't do it. Are there? I think no. None of them do it at the moment, apart from the CMC. We could take a look at it, but it's not really the best like model. But see, we can't like really see like where it's going, and it's just not really showing anything. So we can't really take the CMC into account, because it's not that reliable compared to the other models. If we look at the sea surface temperature for the Western Pacific, as you can see here, the Mariana Islands is here. It's East Chains and Islands. So if you're in this sort of area, this is where it could hit. And the sea surface temperatures are between 28 to 27 to 26 degrees, which is very, very, very favourable for typhoon development. If the sea surface temperatures are above 26 degrees, that is enough to that's enough for it to maintain a typhoon status and intensify. If it's above 27, 28, it could really intensify to a major typhoon and so on. And then the warmer it is, the more intense and more fuel it is. And it also depends on like the upper heat content as well. It also depends on how deep the warm like water is. If it's like very shallow and like not deep, once the typhoon goes over that like very low leveled sea surface temperature, when it goes over it sucks up the moisture from the sea, and if it's not deep, the warm waters, it'll just strip that away, and that surrounding area, it'll turn a lot cooler. But if it's deeper, the warm sea surface temperatures, if it's like hundreds of like feet deep, if like a typhoon comes on and uses that like energy source, once that exits it out for a few days, it'll be a lot cooler. But then the other storage of the upper sea surface temperature, it'll start to upwell up to the surface, and that'll basically just, how can I say it? It basically just like sustains itself. So if there isn't much source, and if the warm sea surface temperature isn't that deep, once the typhoon comes over, it'll just turn cooler, and then it won't get that warm because there's not enough source. If you get like what I mean. So as I said, if you're in the Mariana Islands, it's looking pretty concerning, and I would really keep up to date to your local authorities because it looks pretty serious. And if I was to guess at the moment, and it is far out, so don't take it too literally. And I'm not trying to scare anyone, but it's best just to say it, and it's just best to say like what the threat could be, because I don't want like people in the Mariana Islands to think, it's gonna miss me and all that. I'm not gonna take it seriously. If it's going to come close to it, even get the preparations ready and keep an eye on the local authorities, because this could change easily. Because a day or two ago, it was taking it north. It was like taking the east and north of the Mariana Islands, and it was exiting up here. So it was like avoiding the Mariana Islands. But then now it's starting to come through the Mariana Islands, so it could easily change again. But if I was to guess, it could probably become a Cat 3, Cat 4 typhoon, and it could maybe even become a super typhoon. And I just hope that doesn't happen, especially for people like in the way of this and that. And it's looking really serious, but it's just like sad that that like it's showing it, and I hope people prepare there. And that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like the video, and subscribe, and put the post notification bell on. Yeah, there could be more typhoon updates to come if it starts to change and all that. And then yeah, tell me in the comments like what kind of other weather videos you want us to do, if you want us to go into certain things. So if you want us to explain potentially how tornadoes form, and how like supercells form, and the maintenance of how it develops, or how a hurricane develops, and where the strongest part of the hurricane is. So if you want us to do a certain topic of the weather and explain it, just let us know in the comments below. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. So hopefully there's a new update in the next few days. Bye for now.